Hey guys, welcome back. Today is a new makeup releases. Are they going on my wish list or not? I do this video every Sunday on my channel. And yes, I have got a bit of a frog in my throat. So I may be drinking my coffee a lot today. This series is inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series. And I was originally inspired by Angelica Nyquist. So I will link both of their channels down below, as well as the community playlist that has several different creators on it. And yes, I did film this eye look, so it will be up at some point, but it will be a little while because I'm kind of playing around with this Lime Crime birthday palette to see what I think of it before I put this eye look up. So, getting into new releases, January hit and boy did all of the new releases. So there are lots of fun things this week, and I am on my low buy, so it's gonna be a rough one. Because there's lots of beautiful things this week. Gotta make sure I am a little scooched over here. Last week I wasn't, made it a little hard for inserting pictures. The first thing I want to talk about is all of these like Lunar New Year things that are coming out. The Lunar New Year is a festival that happens every year, but I don't remember there being Lunar New Year things every other year with like this many with makeup. So this year it's the year of the pig, so there are lots of things with the pig that are coming out. It is like an Asian celebrated event, and it has to do with when the moon, like the moon cycles, but that's when it begins, and then for the entire year they have an animal that represents that new year. So the first one we have, I showed a sneak peek of a couple weeks ago, I think, and it is the Becca highlighter with the little piggy on it. I definitely don't need this for the price. It is very cute. It is $38. MAC Cosmetics also has a launch for the Lunar New Year. It is a brush, lipsticks, and a brush, a blush, a brush, and lipsticks, and the packaging is absolutely beautiful on these. I would love to have one of those lipsticks in my collection, but I am on a lipstick no-buy this year. It's going to be interesting to see how long that lasts, how long it is until I break down. I'm already in 5 days, so going strong already. All right, and then the next thing that I saw was this Hourglass has got an ambient lighting blush for the new year. So it is just a more pinky kind of blush. It is very beautiful, and Hourglass is on my brands I want to try in 2019, which that video is not out yet. I need to get that video up as well. But this is not going to be on my wish list. Blushes are also on my no buy. That one I think I can stay strong on. Alright, so those are the different things that I've seen so far having to do with that Lunar New Year. We've got lots of things I'm really excited about, and there are lots of things I'm really bored with. So I'm going to start out with some things I'm really excited about, and they are from Blush Tribe. Blush Tribe is like dropping it like it is hot this week. And the first one is this beautiful pastel palette. It's called the Pastel Tribe palette. It is coming soon. We don't know a price, but my guess is it's going to be around that $35 mark, because that's what it looks very similar to the Hasina 2 setup. Oh no, it's got one less row. I hope that they're the size of this though, and not the size of the Fall Fusion palette, because those were so big. Okay, so with this palette, I think it is beautiful. I am not going to pick it up. If it was void of that brown shimmer and had a couple more matte pastel colors in it, I would totally pick this up as one of my 3 products in January. But I don't like that all of the green shades are shimmer shades in this palette. I think there should have been a pastel green shade in this palette, and that probably would have had me, but you don't have any pastel colors from that green blue range. Honestly, there's one orange pastel, and I wouldn't call the other 2 pastel at all. I think it's a beautiful palette. It is not a palette for me. Like, if I am going to get a palette now, it is going to be a palette that I love every part of it. Now, One thing that is really cool about this is the name of the shades on here are named after supporters of Blush Tribe. I think that is super cool that they did that, but that is not going on my wish list. And then they have another palette. I just talked about this like last week or the week before. I was wondering when this palette was coming. So this is the palette from Sonia, Zarine Makeup Artist. So last week we saw the eyelashes collab with there. So now she's got the eyeshadow palette. I think that I saw that she posted that this was geared towards more bridal makeup. This palette is not for me either. It is way too neutral. It does look like a beautiful neutral palette. It's got a good mix of shimmers and mattes. I honestly think it needs a little bit more of a lighter toned matte though if you're going to gear it toward bridal. I think there needs to be a better, like a more light toned transition color for a matte in there, but I think it is a beautiful palette as well. I am not picking this one up either. What else do they have? Then we've got this Blush by Blush Tribe. Blush by Blush Tribe. 6 new blushers coming soon, and look, they have that same kind of packaging to them with like the bridal on it. And then there are, I told you, they are just dropping things fast. And there's also these liquid lipstick that look like they have kind of the same packaging as the eyelashes. I wonder if it's just kind of like a bridal collection coming out. It's all beautiful. None of it's going on my wish list, but I love Blush Tribe and I think those things are beautiful. Let me know if you're into that pastel palette, because when I first saw it, it really caught my eye and I wanted to get it, but the more I looked into it, it's just not the right pastel palette for me. So speaking of Blush Tribe, Certifeye has got a layout, is that what it's called, of a potential palette. So this would be the brother to the Affinity palette, which was that warm pinky purple yellow orange palette. That was beautiful. This is just a mock-up. She's seeing what consumers like about it, what they don't like about it. This is not like being launched yet or anything like that. Honestly, I would like to see some lighter shades in here. There is a really deep section in that middle there with the purples and blues. And it's, I mean, these are beautiful shades. Certifeye has got an amazing eyeshadow formula. If this were to release as is, I would not be purchasing it. Milani Conceal and Perfect has got a new concealer out. It is going to be $8.99 and there are going to be 18 shades. I'm probably not picking this up. I have got some concealers and I just don't really need it. Maybe if I hear amazing reviews of it, then I'll try it out, but I have my concealers that I love right now and I'm not in the market to try a new one right now. Viseart has released this. Is it released yet? Oh, come on. This is called the Koi palette, inspired by brightly colors seen through the water. 12 shimmering shades. I do not need a 12 shimmery shade palette for $80. Guys, if you want some amazing shimmery shade formulas, I would highly recommend indie brands. They are much less expensive and they create such amazing shimmers. I do want to get up at some point my favorite single shadows that I have, and I will talk more about them there, but some of my favorite shimmers come from indie brands. Ooh, what is this? L'Oreal new Rouge Signature Matte Color Ink. Pigmented lips. Available in 12 shades. This one is the red, but there's going to be nudes and plums as well. That one just popped up. Obviously, I am not picking up that one either. Boy, as the year goes on, I am going to be on the struggle bus with not picking up lipsticks. Whoo! All right. Makeup Maeder Labs. This is super cute. February 2019. This is a little quad called Anatomically Correct. How cute is that? So my guess is it's going to be like different reddish shades, maybe. It looks like it's got like some duochromes in there. It looks very cool. I'm excited to see what that looks like. Make Up Your Mind Cosmetics. This is based in New Mexico. Is launching, no, they just launched new shadows. They are an Etsy shop. These are really pretty. Really pretty. Like that olive and mustardy yellow, burnt red, and burnt orange kind of shades. Those are really pretty. They released January 1st. I wonder how much those are. $6 each. So I'm probably not picking up those, but I'm gonna keep that on my like thinking about it list. If they have a sale and they have got some more shades that I want to try, those are really pretty shades. Grave Intentions Cosmetics. I feel like there's also been a lot of new brands kind of popping up for me this week as well. And by popping up for me this week, I mean like on the indie Instagram accounts, they're popping up. I always link all the Instagram accounts that I use down below as well if you want to check those out for yourself. So this is the Relic collection from Grave Intentions Cosmetics. This is not for me. Oh, this is also an Etsy shop. I love that. It's $60 and it is just to... I know this doesn't look like a neutral palette, but when I look at it, honestly, it looks like a neutral palette to me. It looks like shades that I already have in my collection, and I don't need to add any more to my collection. Physicians Formula has released a collab with, well, it's a sneak peek now. Has it released yet? A collab with Casey Holmes. I don't see a lot with Casey Holmes. I actually used to watch her like way back when I was getting into makeup, but I haven't watched her a lot lately. A partial reveal. Okay, so I have like two thoughts about this. The first one is it's a good idea because you can get a little bit of everything from the Butter collection all right there. So you can get a highlighter, a blush, a bronzer, and their eyeshadows all in that collection. So that is a really good way to try those out, or if you already know you like them. But then the other part of me doesn't really like palettes like that where you've got all those different products in it, and I feel like I just don't get good use out of them. But then it would be good for traveling. I don't know. It's not going, I'm not purchasing it. I am not picking this one up, but I definitely see a positive and a negative for me to this palette. We've got some new things from Pixi. So I have not tried a lot of Pixi products, but it seems like a lot of people on YouTube are raving about them lately. So I actually do kind of want to pick something up. I think something from their Glow line, which is actually what they're releasing. These are all inspired by the Glow Tonic. So they've now got a cleansing gel, a gel moisturizer, a glow stick, and a glow serum. I don't know what I want to try, but I think I want to try something. I think what stopped me from trying Pixi is it's at Target, and I feel like it should be drugstore prices, but it's kind of expensive, I think. So I have never picked anything up from there, but maybe this year I'll try something from Pixi after I go through lots of my other products. Oh my gosh, this palette, like I was seriously laughing to myself when I saw it. This is the Venus XL2 palette from Lime Crime. What is this? This looks to me like 5 shades repeated over and over in the palette. Am I the only one that thought this? It's like there's pink, green, bronze, nude. Maybe there's 4 shades repeated over in the palette. I don't know. I thought that this was just, it was too much of the same to be interesting to me. Definitely not going on my wish list. They're also releasing some Wet Cherry lip glosses with this palette. Also, I'm not picking it up. It's going to be available January 9th. Does anyone like this? I'm just confused by it. I'm just so confused by it. So confused. E.L.F. is releasing another palette. This is the 18 Hit Wonder palette. This is not on my wish list either. This is a really affordable palette, $14. But I have to tell you, I was bit by eyeshadows. Let me show you. So I picked up this one, the Jewel one, Made for Matte Jewel Pop, because everybody was talking about how much they love it. I wanted to love this palette so much. It's got so many pretty colors in it. It is so low on pigment and stayability, durability, long lasting. It is so short lasting. The day I wore that, I had to reapply my eyeshadow 3 times. Never have I ever had to reapply eyeshadow to my eyes. So that was a definite no for me. And I'm not picking this e.l.f. one up either. BH Cosmetics is dropping a lot of things too. I feel like they are like creeping up on ColourPop on their releases. 2 palettes this week that I've seen so far. And then we just had a video where I had like 4 releases from them. So the one is from, I don't know what it's called. It's something to do with Buckingham Palace. From the West End of Buckingham Palace, is that what it's called? I don't know. This is a very neutral palette with some berries and a pop of blue. So if you're into that, this may be a palette for you. BH Cosmetics does have very good formula. I like the shadows I've tried from them. One of their palettes was actually in my top 5 from 2018. This, though, is not on my wish list. And then the other one, oh, so it's the Travel Series, Hanging in Hawaii. And I am super disappointed in this palette because it is so neutral and it could have had such pretty colors in it. It's like there's not even a green in this palette. There's like 1 pop of color. And then it's all neutral. So I am confused by that because BH Cosmetics also does colors really, really good. So I wish they would have added some more to this palette, but this is also not going on my wish list. I'm sure they're going to be affordable. I'm sure they're going to be good quality, but they are not on my wish list. Oh, and then they're also going to have a blushing and ballet. It's going to be a blush, highlighter, bronzer, 6-pan palette. So I'll pop a picture up of that as well. Also not on my wish list because that bronzer is way too shimmery and I don't need that palette in my collection. AMI Hearts Beauty. So I've talked about this a couple times that something was coming out from her. And this is six new shades from the Stone Cold series palette that didn't make it into the original palette, and these I actually really like. So I thought the Stone Cold palette was a little too dark for me. Here's the bright shades, and I think they're beautiful. I don't know yet if I'm going to try them out or not, but I do think that these shades are beautiful. I would love to give her mattes another chance to see if I like them better than I did the first time, but the shimmers, whoo, those are gorgeous. So we know what a couple of insides are going to look like. So the Juicy Olive, this is what the inside of the Juicy Olive palette is going to look like. So it's going to be a little bit smaller than Give Me Glow's regular palettes, which have 8 shades. And it is going to be releasing in early spring. And then this one is, no, okay, so I was wrong. This is a different palette. This is not the inside of one. I thought this was the inside of the other Gimme Glow Cosmetics Rose one, but this is actually Sandra Rose from Glammatrix Cosmetics. So it'll be interesting to see if those 2 palettes end up looking similar or different. Obviously, they're releasing at the same time, so one cosmetic company is not copying the other. It takes way too long for production for that to be the case. But this one, it is a tribute to her mom, Sandra, that passed away in 2012 from cancer. And she loved roses, and then her 5-month-old daughter is named Rose. So the palette's named Sandra Rose, and proceeds from the palette are going to be donated to cancer research, and it should be released in the next 2 to 3 months. I'm really excited to see what that one looks like. That one's got, so the Rose one from Give Me Glow has 8. This one has 15 shades. So I'm just interested to see how those compare and what colors they choose for those palettes. Dose of Colors is releasing 18 lip liners and 15 eyeliners. I would like to know if any of those eyeliners are matte, colorful shades. It looks like a lot of them are going to have like a metallic finish to them, so those don't interest me at all, and I definitely don't need any lip liners. I haven't been super impressed by Dose of Color's lip products, so those would not be on my wish list either. I have no new releases from ColourPop this week. How in the world? I think that this is the first week since I filmed new releases that I don't have one from ColourPop. So this is going to end our new makeup releases. Are they going on the wish list or not? So if a few things were to change about that Certifeye palette, that may end up on my wish list. Maybe the AMI Hearts Beauty. A lot of things that we don't know exactly what they look like yet, so those are obviously not on my wish list yet, but I am excited to see what these products look like. You know what? I think I did have one other thing. I do. This is a new palette from Yes Glitters. Yes Glitters. And this is really pretty. I really like this color story, and I am in the market to try out glitter shadows from different companies this year. Is that silly? That might be on the wish list. That is really pretty. I love that there is one brown in here. I wish there was one more matte shade and one less glitter or shimmer shade, like a matte, maybe like a mid-tone mauve-y kind of shade. I think would make this palette perfect. And then maybe take out the shimmer rose goldish shade, since you have the rose gold glitter shade. But that palette just kind of like pops out to me. I like that. So that may be on the wish list as well. It releases on the 11th. I don't know what the price of their palettes are. Oh, okay, so their palettes are $22 and they do have free shipping on $25. And they have a 10% off your first purchase, and 10% of the proceeds are donated to the American Pitbull Foundation. That's going to stay in the back of my mind, I think, for coming up this next week. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this week's new releases. Are they going on the wish list? Let me know what is on your wish list for this week. Lots of beautiful things and lots of, to me, not so interesting things. I hope you will subscribe before you leave, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!